Januar protiče u znaku iznenađenja i rastuće napetosti od pooštrenih imigracijskih mjera u Sjedinjenim Američkim Državama do novih žarišta na međunarodnoj sceni. Iran, Grenland, NATO savez. S nama iz New Yorka naš glavni politički dopisnik Ognjen Medić. A ova emisija će biti nešto više. Od politike bavit ćemo se mladim ljudima, mentalnim zdravljem, sportom, muzikom, njihovim životima. Ovo je njihovo vrijeme. Škotski amaterski bokser Rhys McCole dokaz je da prepreke ne određuju granice. Višestruki državni prvak koji živi sa autizmom i drugim invaliditetima otvoreno govori o mentalnom zdravlju, disciplini i poštenju u sportu. U emisiji donosi priču o otpornosti, inkluziji i snazi zajednice. Potom mladi kantautor, muzičar Scott Gibson donosi muziku koja odbija površnost i traži istinu kroz pjesme poput Anymore. Spaja ranjivost, depresiju, sazrijevanje u snažan autorski izraz. U emisiji govori o stvaranju u digitalnom dobi, borbe sa sobom i nadi da iskrenost još uvijek ima mjesto u muzici. Ovo je Puls Planete, ja sam Ika Ferrer Gotić. Zaoštreni odnosi na relaciji Iran-Sjedinjene Američke Države i ove sedmice. Portparol iranskog ministarstva vanjskih poslova izjavio je da dolazak američkog ratnog broda Abraham Lincoln neće uzdrmati iransku volju. Iranske oružane snage jačaju svoje kapacitete radi zaštite nacionalnog suvereniteta, saopćeno je to. Predsjednik Donald Trump izjavio je da Iran traži diplomatsko rješenje napetosti sa Sjedinjenim Državama, dok se lider Hezbolaha sprema za mogući napad Izraela i Sjedinjenih Država, ali nije otkrio hoće li intervenisati ako Iran zaista bude napadnut. Dolazak američkog ratnog broda neće uzdrmati iransku volju niti odlučnost da brani zemlju svim snagama. Imamo i volju i punu sposobnost da branimo Iran, podržani od svog naroda i iskustvom koji smo gradili posljednjih decenija. Zato će oružane snage Irana pažljivo pratiti svaki pokret i razvoj, a istovremeno ne propuštamo niti jednu sekundu bez jačanja svojih kapaciteta kako bismo zaštitili nacionalni suverenitet, dostojanstvo i sigurnost. Također ističem da slanje snaga u naš region i upućivanje prijetnje krši sve međunarodne principe i temelje. Nažalost, znamo da američka strana tim principima ne pridaje mnogo pažnje. Ipak to su isti principi koji štite cijelu međunarodnu zajednicu i regionalnu sigurnost. Ako se gaze, nesigurnost koja nastaje sigurno će pogoditi sve. Zato susjedne zemlje, zemlje u regionu, pa čak i zemlje izvan našeg regiona, koje zaista cijene međunarodni mir i sigurnost, ne samo riječima, nastoje osigurati da nijedna strana ne upadne u pogrešnu procjenu. Trump je poručio Iranu da mora pristati na novi nuklearni sporazum ili će se suočiti s, kako je naveo, znatno gorim američkim napadom. Teheran je odgovorio da bi svaki udar izazvao uzvrat protiv Sjedinjenih Država, Izraela i njihovih saveznika, uz poruku da je Iran spreman braniti se, ali ostaje otvoren za sporazum bez nuklearnog oružja. Delcy Rodriguez, vršiteljica dužnosti predsjednice Venezuele, potpisala je zakon kojim se otvara naftni sektor za privatne investicije. Novi zakon omogućava kompanijama kontrolu nad proizvodnjom, ali i prodajom nafte, ukida državni monopol nad istraživanjem i uvodi nezavisnu arbitražu u rješavanju sporova. Rodriguez ističe da je cilj osigurati budućnost zemlji, dok analitičari upozoravaju da se time razbija Chavezov model. Odluka dolazi u kontekstu američkog pritiska i sankcija, dok Venezuela pokušava oporaviti industriju i povećati proizvodnju koja je sada 1,2 miliona barela dnevno.
Čestitam narodu Venezuele. Nakon patnje dolaze samo dobre stvari za sve, koje moramo graditi zajedno i kao jedno. Danas sam primila poziv od predsjednika Sjedinjenih Američkih Država Donalda Trumpa i njegovog državnog sekretara Marka Rubija, tokom kojeg sam obavještena da ostvarujemo velike pomake u realizaciji dogovorene radne agende. Također razgovaramo o ukidanju ograničenja u komercijalnom zračnom prostoru Venezuele, čime bi se omogućio dolazak svih aviokompanija i investitora. U proteklih nekoliko dana ugostili smo i međunarodne naftne kompanije.
A 27 država članica Evropske unije zvanično je usvojilo uredbu koja vodi ka ukidanju uvoza gasa iz Rusije u Evropsku uniju. Evropsko vijeće objavilo je da će potpuna zabrana uvoza ruskog tečnog gasa stupiti na snagu od početka 2027. godine. Zabrana će početi da se primjenjuje 6 sedmica po stupanju uredbe na snagu, a postojeći ugovori će imati prelazni period. Premijeri Mađarske i Slovačke Viktor Orban i Robert Fico najavili su da će podnijeti tužbu jer odluka nije donesena jednoglasno. A ovo nam govori koliko se i mijenja ekonomska slika svijeta, posebno Evrope. Govori to i ova sedmica iza nas. Britanski premijer Keir Starmer od srijede je u Pekingu s ciljem popravljanja odnosa i širenja prilika za britanske kompanije u drugoj najvećoj svjetskoj ekonomiji. Prvi je britanski lider u Kini od posjete Therese May 2018. godine. Odnosi su se pogoršali zbog zabrinutosti oko kineske špijunaže, podrške Rusiji u ratu u Ukrajini i gušenja sloboda u Hong Kongu. Starmer dovodi više od 60 poslovnih i kulturnih lidera, posjetit će Šangaj te se sastati sa Xi Jinpingom u Pekingu i drugim zvaničnicima u fokusu na trgovini, ali i investicijama. Indija i Evropska unija postigle su sporazum o slobodnoj trgovini kojom jačaju ekonomske strateške veze, saopćio je to utorak premijer Modi. Dogovor nazvan majkom svih sporazuma zaključen je nakon gotovo 2 decenije pregovora i obuhvata tržište oko 2 milijarde ljudi. Modi je rekao da sporazum predstavlja 25% globalnog BDP-a i trećinu svjetske trgovine. Dolazi u trenutku pojačanih američkih carina prema Indiji i Evropskoj uniji. Zimska oluja pogodila je istok Sjedinjenih Američkih Država uzrokujući smrt najmanje 51 osobu, trovanje ugljen monoksidom 46 djece u Louisiani i Tennesseeu, ekstremne temperature uključujući -25 u Pittsburghu, prekid u snabdijevanju električnom energijom za preko 500.000 domaćinstava i visoke snježne nanose izazvali su haos u saobraćaju. Otkazivanje 1000 letova. U Teksasu 3 dječaka poginula su u ledenom jezeru, a u Austinu 1 osoba od hipotermije. Nacionalna garda raspoređena je za čišćenje i sigurnost, dok meteorolozi upozoravaju na novu oluju i rekordno niske temperature. Januar prepun iznenađenja, napetosti kako u Sjedinjenim Američkim Državama, tako i na svjetskoj sceni. Dakle, od domaćih imigracijskih represija do međunarodnih sukoba. S nama je sada iz New Yorka naš politički dopisnik Ognjen Medić koji pomno prati situaciju u Sjedinjenim Američkim Državama. Ognjene, danas si u New Yorku, ne u Washingtonu. Hvala ti što si tu. Evo, hajde odmah da uđemo u naslove koji dominiraju Amerikom danas. Da počnemo nekako tom imigracijskom frontom. Usred nacionalnih protesta protiv ICE-a izvještaj je zaista o porastu hapšenja u okviru Trumpove administracije. Kako demokratski zakonodavci koriste evo nedavna ubistva u Minnesoti, Renee Good, Alex Preddy, da bi u pregovorima o mogućem zatvaranju vlade izborili reforme u radu ICE-a, a i protesti se nastavljaju, kao što si mi javio, baš tu nedaleko od tebe. Dešavalo se upravo. Bovino je evo i smijenjen. Šta slijedi zaista u Sjedinjenim Državama?
Da, zaista, Ika, moram da kažem da je situacija ekstremno napeta kada je u pitanju imigraciona politika upravo u Sjedinjenim Državama. Pre samo nekoliko momenata, evo ovdje upravo na Union Square u New Yorku je bio održan protest protiv Trumpove imigracione politike, tačnije protiv ICE agenata, i moram da kažem jednu stvar. da možda evo i sada vidite iza mene mlade ljude koji drže transparente. To su uglavnom bili mladi ljudi koji su se organizovali samostalno i protestovali, organizovali ovaj protest. Da, Gregory Bobinjo je smenjen i umjesto njega je došao Tom Homan, koji je zapravo u Minnesota mislim, zapravo jedan od glavnih lica imigracione politike, ali na granicama. On se bori protiv suzbijanja ilegalnih migracija na samoj granici Sjedinjenih država i on je nekako zamenjen i nekako se čini da je zapravo Trump uspeo da nađe kompromis ili zajedničko rješenje sa guvernerom Minnesota Timom Wolfsom i da je ovo nekako spustilo same tenzije, jer svakodnevno na ulicama Minnesota i Minneapolisa možemo vidjeti na desetine hiljada ljudi koji protestuju protiv imigracione politike Trumpa. Moramo uzeti malo širu sliku i aspekt svih ovih dešavanja, a to je ono da Trumpu u posljednje vreme prema mnogobrojnim istraživanjima rejting opada i to zbog upravo te agresivne imigracione politike koju sprovodi neprestano u nekoliko zemalja Sjedinjenih država. Čak vidimo i iz ugla Republikanske partije da mnogi ljudi koji njega podržavaju i ljudi bliski republikancima i tom establishmentu u Vašingtonu izdvajaju se i izlaze sa izjavama koliko je agresivna Trumpova imigraciona politika i to sve u godini kada nas očekuju i ti midterm izbori koji bi veoma lako mogli da promene sliku američke politike u naredne 2 godine. Tako da zaista je atmosfera napeta, Trump ne želi da odustane od te jake i snažne imigracione politike i on, ali i ljudi bliski njemu smatraju da on radi pravu stvar, ali opet moramo gledati i tu drugu sliku gde su zapravo veliki broj građana koji izlaze na ulice nezadovoljni upravo ovim dešavanjima. Sve je to, kao što si pomenula, postaklo ubistvo Aleksa Pretija, ali to nije jedino ubistvo koje je bilo u Minnesoti. Imamo i prethodno koje se desilo kada je nastradala jedna američka državljanka. Sada na videlo izlaze mnogi novi podaci u vezi sa ovom istragom. Još uvijek se gledaju izveštaji policije. Šta se desilo zapravo? Evo, samo pre 2 dana je na internetu izašao jedan novi snimak gde je Alex pre samog incidenta i pre nego što je upucan krenuo je agresivno na same ICE agente razlupajući jedan deo njihovog automobila i mnogi smatraju da je to zapravo podstaklo ICE agente, ali eto, svakog dana isplivavaju neki novi podaci i mogu samo slobodno da kažem da je ovaj posljednji incident u Minneapolisu, Minnesoti dosta uticao da se već podeljeno američko društvo dodatno podeli, ali eto, vidjet ćemo šta će biti u narednom periodu.
Da, i nije podijeljeno samo američko društvo, podijeljen je i svijet. Evo, prelazeći na vanjsku politiku ognjene, Trumpovo inzistiranje na većem američkom pristupu, prije svega evo Grenlandu, izazvalo i diplomatske napetosti. Vidjelimo šta se dešavalo u Davosu s izvještajima zaista o uznemirenim saveznicima, potencijalnoj krizi u NATO-u. Sada, s obzirom na Danska povlači tu crvenu liniju oko suvereniteta, kakvi ustupci su na stolu u tekućim pregovorima? Kako se to uklapa ognjene u šire sigurnosne brige, posebno u arktičkom regionu, ali i, da kažemo, na bazi NATO saveza, stabilnosti NATO saveza?
Kada se govori o ovoj temi, ja često volim da prokomentarišem da Grenland uvek bude pominjan u kontekstu kada je nekako samim Sjedinjenim državama ugrožena bezbednost. Pa tako se to dešavalo i tokom Drugog svjetskog rata, čak i ranije, pa čak i kada je Americi pretila opasnost od Sovjetskog saveza, pa tako i sada pod izgovorom, Trumpovim izgovorom da Sjedinjenim državama preti opasnost iz Rusije i Kine, on opet koristi Grenland. Grenland je veoma strateški dobro pozicioniran i on bi itekako mogao da, kada bi došlo do nekog potencijalnog sukoba između velikih sila, mislim Kine i Rusije i Amerike, Grenland bi itekako imao veliku značajnu ulogu. Stoga Trump se veoma zalaže da svoje prisustvo i prisustvo zapravo američkih trupa na Grenlandu učvrsti i to je neka njegova retorika koju je, moram da kažem, nekako i nakon Davosa promenio. Moramo da uzmemo u obzir da je on bio čvrst, da Grenland treba da se pripoji Americi i da bude pod kontrolom Sjedinjenih država, ali nešto se to desilo u Davosu ili je razgovarao sa saveznicima saveznicima i sa čelnicima Evropske unije, ali i verovatno sa ostalim ljudima koji se nisu slagali sa njegovim mišljenjem, tako da je malo ublažio ceo taj širi kontekst kada je u pitanju Grenland. Grenland je itekako značajan i on itekako obiluje velikim prirodnim bogatstvima, ali i prostranstvima koji svakako mogu da doprinesu samim Sjedinjenim državama, ali i svim saveznicima, ali eto, Evropa je čvrsto stala uz Grenland, ali i sve ono što se dešavalo u toku prethodnog perioda jasno je dalo do znanja da svako želi neko svoje parče da ubere sa ovog značajnog strateškog područja. Tek će se o ovome diskutovati, tek će Trump u narednom periodu donositi neke radikalne odluke, ali ostaje nam da vidimo šta će se sve dešavati na terenu.
Evo, hajde da pređemo još jednu temu prije nego što te pustim i prije nego što si se smrzao, da kažem, u toj strašnim minusima u New Yorku. Što se tiče Irana, Ognjene, Sjedinjene Američke Države su pojačale svoje vojno prisustvo u zaljevu s onim što predsjednik Trump sada naziva masivnom armadom, upozoravajući da vrijeme zaista ističe za nuklearni dogovor. Sada s iranskim ministrom vanjskih poslova koji prijeti trenutnom odmazdom, nekako, kakve su, da kažemo, trenutne opcije administracije? Koliko smo zaista blizu potencijalnim udarima?
Moram da kažem da zaista Trumpova administracija, ali i čitav establishment u Sjedinjenim državama vodi neku nepredvidivu politiku, što vidimo iz svega onoga što se dešava u posljednjih nekoliko meseci. Stoga i situacija sa Iranom je značajno podignuta na lestvicu više i ona svakako može da eskalira u narednom periodu, ali čini se nekako za sada da su Trumpovi planovi, bar što se tiče Irana, malo se smirili zbog ostalih dešavanja u svetu. On jeste pojačao vojno prisustvo i tekako drži upravo ceo taj zaliv na oku i može da eskalira u svakom momentu, ali mislim da mu to sada trenutno i nije prioritet pored svega onoga što se dešava unutar Sjedinjenih država, ali i odnosa sa svim ostalim partnerima, mislim na Evropsku uniju i na ostale saveznike. Stoga nije strano da i saveznici Evropska unija, ali i svi oni koji su do sada bili jako bliski administraciji Donalda Trumpa, okreću svoja leđa ka nekim drugim frontovima, pa tako vidimo pojačanu aktivnost i saradnju evropskih partnera sa Kinom ili Indijom, ali i pojačavanje svakako tog nekog evroazijskog fronta i udaljavanja od Sjedinjenih država upravo iz tog glavnog razloga, zato što administracija Donalda Trumpa, sam Donald Trump i svi koji se nalaze u njegovom neposrednom okruženju vode tu neku nepredvidivu politiku. Stoga smatram i mislim da su zapravo i mnogi analitičari su tog istog mišljenja da su se zahladili dosta odnosi Sjedinjenih država sa ostalim saveznicima upravo zbog tih svakodnevnih menjanja potencijalnog razmišljanja u radu njegove administracije i donošenju veoma radikalnih odluka.
Da. Ognjene, ostavit ćemo to na tome za sada. Sretno nazad za Washington. Mi se čujemo i naredne sedmice. Hvala ti za ovo uključenje. In the world of amateur boxing, few stories embody resilience and determination quite like that of Rhys McCole, a Scottish national champion who has triumphed over significant personal challenges, living with multiple disabilities, autism being the biggest. Rhys has not only claimed multiple titles in the ring, but has also become a vocal advocate for athlete welfare. He shares his journey on social media with unflinching honesty, inspiring others through his commitment to health, nutrition, and community outreach. Also a proud Celtic supporter with a sharp wit and principled outlook, Rhys represents the heart of grassroots sports, someone who rebuilds from adversity, abstains from vices for the sake of well-being, and extends empathy to those facing their own battles. And Rhys McCole is joining me from Greenock, Scotland in these moments. Rhys, hi, welcome to Newsmax Balkans.
Thank you very much for having me.
It's such an honor, Rhys. Now, you've openly shared your journey from being bedridden due to illness to becoming a multiple-time Scottish national boxing champion. Now, congratulations, first of all. What was the pivotal moment that ignited your determination to pursue boxing despite all the difficulty and, of course, your disabilities?
Yeah. So for me, being able to try and do things that I shouldn't be able to do or I wouldn't be able to do has always been an inspiring factor for me. So when I was really, really young, I used to stay at the bottom of the street from the boxing club, but the boxing club had no windows, no signs, so it was just a big brown building with noises coming from it. I used to ask my mum and my dad, and they would tell me, that's the boxing club. So when I was 10, I joined the boxing club and I loved it. It was great for me as it was a individual sport, but it was also a chance for me to socialise with, make new friends and try new things, which is an opportunity that I didn't really have before then due to my conditions and my illnesses.
Mental health is often intertwined with physical challenges in sports like boxing. How has your experience with disabilities and the demands of training really influenced your approach to maintaining mental well-being, and what strategies do you use to stay resilient, especially during the tough times?
Yeah, so I think for me the biggest thing is that everyone's different, everyone's method of coping and everyone's strategy will be different. But at the end of the day, everyone with a disability just wants to be included in sports. Boxing at the minute doesn't have a pathway or anything to help include people with disabilities, unfortunately. And in terms of mental health, for me, I grew up with 6 disabilities. I've faced challenges like sepsis, appendicitis. So for me, when I look back at these things from when I was younger, all I can do is move forward, and all I can do is look at the positives that are coming forward in life, and I think that's how I keep my mental health so positive. I don't drink, I don't take drugs, which I think is a massive thing for me. We hear a lot about poor mental health linked to drinking drugs nowadays, which is really, really unfortunate.
And inclusion in sports in society can really transform lives, and you're very open about that on your social media as well. How has your own journey highlighted, the importance of inclusive practices, and what changes would you really advocate for to make amateur boxing and community programs really more accessible to people with disability?
Well, I think for me, what makes my story probably a wee bit more unique is the fact that you can't see my disabilities. So if you looked at me, you wouldn't know I was disabled. So I probably don't come into maybe as much sympathy as other people would. It has happened where people have heard my story and heard about the things that I do, and you always get the remarks of it's a load of rubbish, it's made up, which is unfortunate. There was actually a time where I was on holiday with my dad. We went to get on a bus, and just at the front of the bus there was seats for disabled people. So me and my dad sat on the seats, and there was an older man and woman next to us, and the woman said, "Excuse me, you two shouldn't be sitting there." And my dad went, "Well, why not?" She said, "Those seats are for people with disabilities." And my dad says, "Well, my son's actually disabled, he's born with 6 disabilities." And the woman said, "Well, he doesn't look disabled." And I think that's a key point, is that you can't see all disabilities, and you need to understand that everyone's journey is different and everyone will experience different challenges.
And the disability is not always visible. Have you faced more adversity in that sense in your life?
Yeah, well, I think when I boxed, I was the only person with multiple disabilities who boxed mainstream against what's termed as able-bodied boxers, because boxing has no disability pathway, it has no adaptations put in place for people like myself who want to get involved in the sport. It's you either box and compete and take part with no adaptations at all, or you don't take part, which is really unfortunate, because I'm sure it does push a lot of people away from the sport.
And your community work really highlights a focus on accessible health. How has your own emphasis on nutrition and hygiene influenced really these initiatives? And what impact have you seen on participants?
Yeah, it's been massive. So my own experience with hygiene and nutrition is key to my journey, helping build up my health and build up my strength from when I was younger. I actually still get quite a lot of people that I've worked with, whether it's young people or older people who have lost weight or they've built muscle or they've learned to box with me, and I still bump into them in the street and they'll say to me things like, I still do all the things you taught me, and I'm still on my fitness journey, and I don't drink anymore or whatever it is, which is really nice to see, and that's something I try to take into my boxing in schools when I ran it, where I try to help young people become better versions of themselves and learn some really, really key life skills.
Rhys, you've expressed really strong views on integrity in sports, such as calling out cheating in era of doping scandals and rule bending. What advice would you really give to young athletes navigating really these pressures?
I think that cheating, whether it's doping or other kinds at the moment, it's going on a lot more in sports, which is really unfortunate. And if you are unlucky to see something like that or experience something like that, call it out and challenge it. Don't let it slide. If you see something you don't think's right, call it out, challenge it, and don't be a passerby. Don't just view it.
What is next for you, Rhys? How do you see yourself? I hate the questions when people just ask, from 5 to 10 years, but where do you really see yourself in the future? What is next for you? What do you hope to more achieve? I mean, you're already a national champion of Scotland. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty big. But what do you want for yourself, Rhys?
I'm really glad you asked me this question, because for anyone that follows me on social media, you'll know that I delivered a boxing program and almost like a mentorship program in my local area for young people. It ran for several years and it was really, really successful. I managed to get awarded the Inverclyde Rotary Citizen of the Year, and after that I was lucky enough to be awarded the British and Irish Young Citizen Peacekeeper of the Year award through my work in local schools, where we try to tackle anti-knife crime, anti-drinking drugs, anti-gang violence. Unfortunately, that programme had to be stopped due to a lack of funding from the local government or government as a whole. There just wasn't enough funding to keep the programme going, which I think's really, really unfortunate, because it was so positive for the young people involved. And in my future, I think that's definitely something I want to revisit.
Those are really great plans, and I'm 100% sure that you will make it, that you will make them true. Beautiful dreams to really dream. Rhys, thank you so much for speaking to us and sharing your personal story, your struggles. I know it's not easy, but thank you for doing that. And you're such an inspiration. You are going to inspire so many people that will watch this. Thank you again. And of course, let's stay in touch, Rhys. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And thank you so much for having me. Thank you to everyone for listening.
Anytime. Thank you. This was Rhys McCole, a Scottish national champion who joined me from Scotland. Stay with us.
Serve
Oh, I just love this song. In the ever-evolving landscape of independent music, Scott Gibson emerges as a compelling new talent, blending raw emotional depth with introspective songwriting that resonates with listeners navigating life complexities, just like myself. And at just the cusp of his career, Gibson has already released multiple tracks, including just this one, Anymore. A song that delves into themes of loss, resilience, and inner turmoil. And he's only 20, and he represents a fresh hope for authenticity in an industry often dominated by viral trends. Scott is joining me from Cardiff. Welcome to the program. Thank you for joining me.
Well, thank you for having me.
I don't want to be rude, but you're only 20. Such deep lyrics at 20. Where do they really come from?
Well, as many teenagers and 20-year-olds these days, I've suffered from a lot of mental health issues, a lot of depression and anxiety. And yeah, music has always just been an amazing outlet for that. It's not like I'm working, it's like the music just comes from somewhere within me and it just flows out.
And you burst onto the scene as a talented newcomer with multiple songs under your belt. I really love Anymore. The first time I heard it, when it was communicated with me, it really just resonated with me and it stuck with me. It's probably my favorite song in 2026. Can you walk us through how you first got into music and what really inspired you to start writing, releasing your own tracks, and just writing music?
Yeah, well, my family is very musical. My mom's side has always been playing a lot of instruments, and my dad is a music producer. So I'd spent a lot of my childhood in the studio, and around all these amazing up and coming bands and artists. And I just heard all the music in every stage of production. So everything felt like songwriting always felt I was always surrounded by it. It was very natural to me.
Your song Anymore that we just heard stands out for its emotional depth, and it's really, like I said, it's my favorite song out there. It's raw and introspective. What was the creative process like for that track, that specific track, and what personal really experience that you already mentioned shaped its lyrics and melody? Now you go ahead and just be honest with me here.
I will. Yeah, I honestly, I was always a very happy kid, which is a very privileged thing to say, but I really was. I grew up very happy. I had an amazing childhood and very supportive people around me. And then at one point, I just started going to bed sad every night, and it was such a foreign feeling to me. I didn't know why or where it was coming from. And I couldn't work it out. And of course, the natural thing that we do, I just bottled it up, but I was just feeling more and more numb. It wasn't helping anything. So then at one point I sat down at the piano and I played this chord and the whole song just came out. I was like, I don't feel like I can tell anyone. I had amazing supportive people around me, but I didn't feel comfortable telling them because I didn't want to worry them.
Was it your dad you told this first?
Yeah, but it was honestly just almost recently, actually. It took me a really, really long time to open up about it. So all I had was this music to write it in. One of the lyrics in the song is, "So I wrote it in a song just to feel less alone." And it's really true. I really felt like that was the best outlet I could come up with.
Oh my God. And you're obviously really open about your struggles with depression. Many people out there are not. And how has music served as a tool for you in coping with these challenges? And do you hope your songs provide comfort to okay, well, I'll answer that question. Yes, comfort to listeners going through similar issues.
Yeah, music, I mean, it's just the most, I wish I could explain the feeling of being able to physically take an emotion that you don't know what to do with and just put it into this art, just try and make something sad into something beautiful. And then to be able, especially music as an art form, to be able to listen back to it and feel so resonant with all the lyrics is the most crazy cathartic feeling ever. Like I really, it's like the biggest release you can possibly think of. And yeah, and I really hope it resonates with everyone else in that way. I really hope that people that don't feel like they can be open about their depression, I really want them to feel like they're not alone. Because everyone is always going through something, but no one acknowledges it. So it feels so lonely, but it's crazy just because everyone is constantly around you dealing with the same things.
Absolutely, and starting college, which is a new thing for you. Congratulations on that, for of course. So starting college brings a host of new pressures and adjustments as well. And have these experiences influenced your songwriting? What specific hurdles, if we can say that, have you faced that you've turned into now this artistic fuel?
Yeah, going to college, especially moving away from the comfort zone of where I grew up and my parents and everything, it's a crazy experience because you end up in such a bubble. It's like you're you don't have many friends. You've just started out like somewhere completely new on your own, and every emotion that you feel and everyone that you're friends with feels is just amplified in this like echo chamber of just like everything's bouncing off each other, and it's the most intense, crazy environment, and it is not healthy for mental health. But I think you can find coping mechanisms and outlets around it, but it's definitely a struggle, and I think a lot of people, don't know that until it happens to them.
Absolutely, and with the struggles you're going through concerning mental health, of course, and there's some signs of depression as you described it, and the demands, of course, of college life. How do you maintain your creative output now? Are these particular routines or support systems that help you keep producing music during these tough times?
Yeah, you know what, and as I said before, it doesn't feel like something I have to maintain. It feels like it just
It just comes
happens,
naturally to you? Is it something that comes
Yeah,
naturally to you?
definitely. And I'm the luckiest person that I have the most amazing, supportive housemates that let me stay up until 1 a.m. playing the piano. They're like, God, please let me go to bed. But but they're so supportive. They've like even, we went out to a bar the other night and they tried to play Any More as karaoke in the bar.
As a rising artist who's already shown such promise, what are your aspirations for the future? Of course, you're continuing with the music. I understand you want to go through college as well. Do you have upcoming projects or collaborations in the works that build on songs like Anymore?
Well, future aspirations. I think you know what, it's funny because I write this music for me. I do this for me, so it's any opportunities that I come, I'm just so grateful from any opportunities that like come from this. And of course, if I'm like happen to be doing a duet with Lewis Capaldi at Glastonbury stage. Me and Lewis were both Scottish, so there's a lot to connect on there.
I want to ask you this, and in today's music world with social media platforms and algorithms often dictate trends, actually dictate the trends, visibility and success. How do you approach building your career? How do you approach social media today? How does one go through having this talent but still have to rely on the algorithm in social media? What challenges or opportunities have you encountered in using these tools to really share your authenticity, deep music with your audiences?
It is, I'm really glad you brought this up because it's something that I've been really struggling with recently. I mean, so much of, promotion and building a career from this is social media based nowadays, and I find it really anxiety inducing and very embarrassing almost. Like it feels cringy to be like constantly promoting myself on social media. Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety around it and stress from how other people perceive me. But I am working on right now trying to just post as my authentic self and be my authentic life and just hope that that's what people enjoy to consume. And honestly, if they don't, then the earth is going to keep spinning. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter that much.
how do you do it yourself? Do you have support when it comes to social media management? How do you do it?
Yeah, it's I mean, my dad is very encouraging with these things. I will give him that credit. He's very impressive in that department. But yeah, I mean, of course, it's something that so many people struggle with because social media is such a heavy area of judgment. You know, it's like you're putting yourself out there for everyone to have an opinion on you. But as dad has been teaching me, people generally, you think about yourself more than other people do. It isn't as scary as it needs to. It doesn't have to be as scary as it seems.
Well, yeah, but it's true. We often think about ourselves. Actually, we do think about ourselves more than anyone else in the world, but we think it's always about us. What advice would you give to new generations who dream about writing music and coming onto the scene, or having this talent that they just want to put out? What advice would you give them at this point?
So I've had like a lot of friends come to me about like how they want to start writing music, and it comes back to that drive. You just have to do it. You know, it's everyone's has a starting point, and it is going to be, you know, again, if that song that I wrote at 15 ever saw the light of day, that would be something I'd struggle with on social media, I'll tell you that. But you know, you start somewhere and then you perfect a method and you build on it, and eventually you get to a point. Honestly, my first song that I released, the first song that I ever felt comfortable releasing, was a year and a half into my songwriting, because it's about practice. So I would say, like, it's really important to just do it and just push through the embarrassment, and you can show people if you want to, or you can not. Unfortunately, I did show people and I regret it. No, but, yeah, but so I just think it's really important to just start, you know, to just pick up the pen, sit at the piano, or if you don't have a piano, sit on GarageBand on your phone. You know, it's really accessible nowadays, and just write.
Just do it, right? I was going to ask you to sing us any more lyrics, only if you feel comfortable.
I would love to. I will warn you, we'll see how the audio quality goes.
All right. Let's
push
do
it
it.
back a little bit.
Go ahead.
Okay, so. And I'd hate to see you look so sad, and I'd hate me for making you feel like that, and I'd hate to see you comforting me, and I can't stand all the sympathy, so I write it in a song, just to feel less alone. But as long as you don't know, I'm not happy anymore.
Oh, wow.
Good old voice crack.
Thank you for that. That's a wonderful voice. I love it. It's so wonderful. Thank you for that. Thank you so much. You made my week. You made my week with that. Scott, thank you so much for doing this. Thank you for sharing your struggles and this personal story as well. And let's do this again. Let's do this again when you're really big. And I know you are going to be. Don't forget the people who were there for you when you were here. So don't forget. Thank you, Scott. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. This was amazing.
Thank you. Let's listen to more anymore.
But as long as you don't know, I'm not happy anymore.
Toliko u Pulsu planete za ovu sedmicu. Ove i ostale vijesti svijeta možete i dalje potražiti na našem sajtu newsmaxbalkans.com. Mi se svakako vidimo naredne sedmice. Ostanite uz Newsmax Balkans.